Hey, manufacturing world, welcome to another episode of Shop Matters, sponsored by Okuma America Corporation. I'm your host, Wade Anderson, and once again, we are broadcasting live from IMTS 2022. It is day 4. We have had a phenomenal show. We are in the afternoon, and joining me here this afternoon, I have got Julia McDonough. She is one of our sales representatives from Morris up in New England. Welcome, Julia.
Thank you, Wade.
All right.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad you took time to spend a few minutes with me here. I know the show has been crazy busy for all of our distributors. So
Yeah.
When did you come into town?
Tuesday morning.
Okay.
Up at 2 a.m., got here by 11:30.
All right.
Yeah.
So you've spent a couple of days here, enough to have sore feet and a tired mind.
Yeah, sore feet, spaghetti brain, bad knees.
Yeah.
All 9.
So is this your first IMTS?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
How many trade shows or events like this have you been to in your career so far?
Just one other at East Tech in Massachusetts.
Okay.
Yep.
So judging from East Tech to IMTS, what's the scale level?
Vast difference. It's much larger, more put together at IMTS, I would say.
Yeah.
Even a little cleaner.
Yeah.
And definitely way more people.
Right.
Way more people.
Okay.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Have you had some really good conversations with customers? Anything that really stands out with you so far for this year's IMTS show?
Yeah, absolutely. I've had some really great conversations with customers. I had really great support from the Morris and the Okuma team. Some good stuff coming down the pipeline. I'm excited.
All right. Excellent.
Yeah.
So obviously you are a woman in manufacturing. That's been a theme that I've seen throughout IMTS. And this is a little bit unique in capital sales. Tell me a little bit about your background. How did you get involved in capital sales and manufacturing in general? Was this a path that started in college from an engineering program?
No, actually, I never had any plan of being in sales. I had no desire to even go to college to start off with. In high school, I took a sewing class, and the machines would break all the time. Kids are constantly beating stuff up. So I'd go in every day. I'd tune them all up, fix them all up, get spare parts if I had to. I'd have the teacher order them for me and install them. And then a guidance counselor saw me and said, we should put her in like a trade class. What is she doing just in sewing class and Spanish,
Yeah.
And so they brought me around to construction trades, automotive, and then the machine shop. And I was like, the machine shop seems like it'd be pretty cool.
Okay.
So I ended up getting in there. I did 2 years of manual machining in high school. Taught me how to, read mics, like not digital mics, like real mics,
Right.
calipers, trained us on deburring, running manual lathes, manual mills, manual grinders. And then I got my first internship at a machine shop in my senior year of high school as a tool and die maker's apprentice, sort of unofficially.
Okay.
And it was fantastic. I was in there every day after school, and he taught me everything I know, like from the bottom up.
No kidding.
I got to do custom fixtures for the engineers and different R&D projects. I was, drilling out broken 440 taps out of these like bad missile housings, at 9 o'clock at night when everybody else had gone home. I got to learn a lot. And then from there I started college, and so they started to kind of groom me into the engineering side.
Okay.
And I would go in the afternoon. I'd work with the engineers on the 3D printers, fixing drawings, doing some more R&D work. And then at night, I'd go up to the shop. I'd run the machines.
Wow.
I did that for a while until I got another job, a different internship, because I wanted to learn how to build machines. I was curious. I was like, I want to do some assembly and see what that's like. So I did electromechanical assembly, building diamond turning machines. And then I got a opportunity to go and work for BAE. So I went there. I did a compliance internship as a compliance engineer. And when that ended, it was just a summer internship. I went and I got another engineering internship as a manufacturing engineer and a safety engineer.
Okay.
Yeah. So I graduated college in the middle of the pandemic, 2020.
Yeah.
And from there, I had to temp for a little bit. I ran machines again.
Right.
A little fallback plan.
So what machines have you run? What's your experience levels?
My first shop that I worked in, they mostly had stuff from Method. So it was a whole slew of different types of machines.
Yeah.
I mostly did the manual stuff. We had like a Prototrack, a Harrison lathe, some different, surface grinders, Bridgeports.
Yeah.
And then I would program and run the wire EDM. And then the other ones, I couldn't tell you. I was just a button presser, lapping parts, putting them on, measuring them when they're coming off.
Okay.
But then when I temped during COVID, I was actually running an Okuma lathe. I think it was like an LB3000.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd never, edited programs on a lathe before. I'd never set up a lathe. I'd never, done everything you got to do from start to finish to run a part.
Yeah.
They taught me in a week.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I couldn't believe it. It was so easy to learn.
Yeah.
And I don't just say that because I'm a salesperson that reps Okuma.
Right.
But it was like putting two and two together now.
Sure.
I couldn't believe how easily they taught me how to run that thing.
That's incredible.
Coming from basically being either a manual machinist or a button pusher.
So what a great story from a high school experience. Kudos to the high school counselor for recognizing some mechanical aptitude and really directing your path to a different path than what you were on originally, and how that directed your career to where you are now.
I still keep in touch with her, actually. I go into they do a women or a girls in STEM camp at the college that I went to. So they get high school and middle school girls in, and they do different various projects. So like this last year, they did a drone project where they were teaching drones to fly themselves. So they teach them the path, and they made like an obstacle course for them. Yeah. And then I go in and I help, for maybe a day, setting up the obstacle course and just talking to them and answering questions about, what's it like to be a woman in the manufacturing field or just in a STEM field in general. Okay. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. So what led the path from running machines and programming machines and being a setup operator on Okuma lathes to working for Morris and getting into capital sales? What was that transition like? I mean, did you have a moment in time where you said, you know what, I want to be in business and sales, or was that a stroke of luck and magic, or what happened there?
A little bit of, I would say, mostly a stroke of luck. Yeah. So right after college, I was working as an applications engineer, and I got to sort of get the feel of what it's like to be part of a sales team, part of like the more customer-facing side of things, rather than kind of sitting at your desk doing SolidWorks, working through that kind of stuff. And I really enjoyed being customer-facing. I really enjoyed helping people through their problems and figuring out what the best solution was going to be for them. And that job, I ended up leaving because I wanted to follow a little passion project of trying to become a pilot. That didn't really work out. But after that, my husband was very supportive. He said, I want you to go out and find a job that you really love and that you're going to want to stay at and you're going to enjoy, and it's going to be a career for you. So he let me take my time, and I was looking, and I had reached out to some of my friends from SME, and they took my resume and they sent it out. And finally somebody said, oh, I know where she's going to fit in just right. And they sent my resume to somebody over at Morris. Okay. And they grabbed it and called me in, and then they passed me around between the productivity specialist, the applications engineering department, and then my boss now, Ben Brown, in capital sales. Okay. Yeah. Was there an arm wrestling match between all the different departments to figure out which way you were going to go? He's nodding right now. He won. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's excellent. I think I won too. Yeah. That's a good plug for Ben there. Yep. Yeah. I'm very happy. That's good. It's awesome. So how do you like sales so far? How long have you been in this role, and how different is that from what you're doing today versus what you were doing in the machine shop? How do you like what you're doing now? And I guess what's the difference feel like for you from now you're more outward facing instead of working on one problem in one shop? Yeah. You're out doing that in multiple shops. It's definitely different. It's a weird position to be in, because you go in, you're talking to strangers every day, and then finally they become your friend, almost, and you get to know them better. You get to know about their life, what their problems are, what they face. But I really love it. It's something different every day. And I get to work with and meet different people constantly. And I think that that's really cool. And it's also rewarding because when you come up with a solution for somebody's problem and they're excited about it and you're excited about it, it feels good.
Yeah.
You know, and I really like that. So, but it's a weird job.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, it's definitely different.
Okay.
But it's also cool because I get to go in and I get to see a lot of different shops. So I might go into one shop and see they're doing something one way, and I go into a different shop and they're having an issue, and I go, oh, that other shop kind of came up with a solution for that. Maybe I'll fill them in. You know, like see if that's something that they would be interested in trying. So I can almost be an advocate to kind of pass information and help people just make things better, faster, stronger, more efficient.
Sure.
And that's my goal. Yeah, and educate. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So what advice would you have for young people? I think it's interesting how you really got your start, you back all the way up into your high school years.
Yeah.
What advice would you have for young people who are trying to figure out what direction they're wanting to go in?
I would say don't be afraid to try things and maybe not be that good at it or think you're not going to fit into it because you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter if you're a guy, or a woman, or a man, what field you go into. It matters if you like waking up in the morning and doing your job.
Yeah.
And if your coworkers are good to you. I mean, what your skill is, what your knowledge is, and the quality of your character matters more, as well as what you want to do with your life, than being afraid of trying new things. So, you know.
Excellent.
Yeah. Manufacturing isn't scary. It's a lot of fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Very good points. Well, Julie, I really appreciate your time today and enjoy your time here at the show. And thank you for taking the time out to sit here and chat with us a little bit.
Absolutely. Thank you, Wade. I appreciate being on.
Absolutely. And thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you in a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you.